everyone, Jennifer Maker here. Today I'm joined by Greg, Mr. Maker, and today we're going to unbox and play test a brand new laser engraver and cutting machine called Phecda. This is made by Elegoo, I don't know how to pronounce that word, who also makes 3D printers that we use at home.
Yeah, I love Elegoo's like resin 3D printers, and I have
How many?
I was going to count. I've had a few over the time. So I've got some Marses, Saturns. I think I've had 5 resin printers.
Yeah, he really likes the resin
They're
printers.
good quality and really affordable. So
yeah, and that's an awesome thing, good quality and affordable, which is why we're interested in this product. So we got this laser during a Kickstarter this summer, and we've been saving it to unbox and set up with you live. They're available for sale now. You'll find them over at jennifermaker.com/Phecda. I'm going to put it on the screen because that's an unusual name. There we go. It's the bottom of the screen. So it's Phecda. And that link goes to an Amazon shopping list with a variety of different models because there's more than just one model, right? Tell them about which model we have.
this is the 20-watt version. They come with a 10 or 20-watt diode laser.
Right. So we have the 20-watt power model here to show you. But there's also a 10-watt power version, so you know, so that you're not confused by that. And we'll talk about the difference and what that means, right? So you might wonder, why would anyone need or care about a laser engraver or cutting machine? Well, a laser is stronger than a blade or a knife, and it can work with thicker materials than, say, a Cricut cutting machine like an Explorer or Maker can do. So if you've always wanted to cut things like wood or engrave things like metal, a laser engraver and cutter is the tool for you. So we did these. These are not done on the Phecda. These were done on the Glowforge Aura. This is our cat Butterscotch. These are our dogs Hunter and Chloe. But it's very cool. Now the Phecda's laser is a diode laser, which is like the Glowforge Aura's laser, only the Aura's laser is just 6 watts. So the Phecda's laser is nearly twice as powerful at 10 watts or nearly 4 times as powerful at 20 watts. So we're talking like more. It can do more. It can do thicker, things like that. That said, the Glowforge Pro's laser, and we have 2 of those. We have one here in the studio in the back, and we have one at home. It's 45 watts. And it's a CO2 laser.
Is it only 40? I thought it was 60 watts.
I think it's 40. I could be wrong.
I
think it's 45 watts. It's possible it's more, and I'm wrong.
It cuts through all the things.
Yeah. That one is a CO2 laser. It's not a diode laser. Today's laser is a diode laser. But the one big thing that the Phecda has going for it is price. The Phecda is substantially less, and it starts at like just $250 for the 10-watt version. $250 at the time of this video, of course. So the big question though is it worth even that much? Cheap is only great if it does what you need it to do. And that starts by the ability to set it up and actually get it going. So we're going to set up this new Phecda with you and see how it goes together. It'll either be a success or a spectacular failure. And we're not going to like beat around the bush. We're a little nervous and anxious. We've never set anything like this up that's so involved. So it should be interesting and it'll be authentic for sure. So Greg, start opening up that box for us.
We'll do that.
Okay. And I will switch over so you can see it be opened. There you go. Greg's going to open it. And keep in mind that this video is not meant to be an expert review of the Phecda. So yes, we have been using laser cutting and engraving machines for many years now, but this machine is brand new to us. We're discovering it with you so you can get an idea of what we think of it to help you decide if it's something that you think would work for you. Okay, so keep that in mind. So it's just to help you decide if it's something that would work for you. So more details about the Phecda while Greg is opening it, unless you want to see, let's just see what's inside first. All right. A whole bunch of foam.
Which is a good thing. Yeah.
All right. Let's take it off. Wow. Look at all this stuff. Safety instructions. Always read your safety instructions. User manual. It's not very big.
It's not.
But there's a user manual here.
I know that there's an official video online, like an assembly video. So
Yeah.
hopefully they might just tell us to go do that, actually.
Yeah, they might. All right. So, okay, let's start with the user manual. Okay, actually, we should talk about what we have. So we have the 20-watt version, and I'm going to put up a graphic on the screen for you to see. There we go. This is the one that we got. So everyone knows what we're working with. So we have the 20-watt version that has the engraver cutting machine itself. It also has, and all those accessories you see on the screen that I put in the graphic. It also has what's it called again? Hang on. Rotary attachment for doing like engraving like tumblers or something, or things that are curved, right? Isn't that the idea?
Yes, which is definitely not something the Glowforge
The Glowforge can't do that at all. So we're excited. And it's got the air assist. Okay, so if for some reason you want to know what we did, that's what we did. So I'll put that away for now. All right.
Yeah, in fact, we wanted to try some of these alternatives to the Glowforge for a while. So the Pro is so expensive. We got the Glowforge Aura, and then that really kind of got us thinking about Xtool, and the Phecda just happened to be kickstarting around that time too.
Yeah.
So we've actually been wanting to try a variety of lasers, and anything that can kind of push that price point down a little bit, we think is a good thing.
It's really important to us actually because accessibility is everything. If you can't afford the tools, you don't get to play. So we really, really try to find things that allows as many people to play as possible. All right, so let's, this has this little, whatever, a bunch of stuff. Okay, let's start. Always read your manual, but if I would like read the whole thing, we might be here for like hours and hours and hours. Okay, so there's a packing list in here. All the things that it's supposed to have is right here, right? And then machine installation. So it says to, there is an instruction video, so I recommend you watch that. Greg, you watched it.
I did, yes.
Yeah, so we have watched it, so that we're not completely blind. So you can watch it before it arrives. Keep that in mind, okay? Okay, so it says pre-join the 4 parts together on a horizontal plane and pay attention to the installation direction of the baffle. All right, so we're going to do this page, and I think maybe we move this box over to that little table next to you so you have room to work.
Honestly, I think what we need to do is
want to take everything out?
In the window, not the window, in the video, they have you take out all.
Okay,
pieces,
well we can take everything.
Specifically the baffles.
Well, why don't we move it though, so we have room.
We should also mention about so we're having some technical difficulties with my microphone. So actually, if you hear me, you're hearing me on hers. So I'm going to try not to talk too much, and if you're having issues, it's on our end. So sorry about that.
I might talk more than he does. So we're working on the mic issue. Okay.
Yeah. But I think we should, and there's 2 layers under this, I believe.
Yeah, there's like.
So we should just kind of pull things out and get an inventory of what we're looking at.
Okay, that's a good idea. Let's do an inventory. All right, awesome.
Yeah. So, like, we could go through. I don't know if you wanted to read through that.
Do you want to just? Where are you going to put them all?
I mean, we can set them over here for now. We'll pull inventory.
They just want. Okay, so you take things out. All right, so let's start with the baffles. Are those all underneath?
The baffles should be the structural pieces that combine on 4 sides to build.
Okay, so pull them out.
Basically. Oh, this is probably not one here.
So what is that?
This is probably. We're looking at it.
So this is the first thing that you should notice is that there is assembly required. All right. So I think we should just get everything out. And because if we compare it after it's all out, then we'll be able to see better what everything is.
I believe this is, yes.
And I really think that we should move the whole box over here and set the things on the table so we can see them clearly. So I'm going to move this so that it's like right next to you. There you go. And then take each item out, and we'll figure out what it is. All right. All right, go for it. Here, I'll put these here as we do this. I see a question from Danye who says, can you tell us what the overall use of the machine is, what it can be used for, or what it can do with? Yes. So a laser engraving and cutting machine, essentially it means it can burn away material with a laser, in this case a diode laser, either engraving or cutting it. The Phecda claims to work on a wide range of materials, including things like wood and leather, craft paper, stainless steel, and aluminum. This is some wood that's been both cut and engraved. You see here? Isn't this cool? So what it can't do is cut acrylic. The Phecda can't cut acrylic. It can only engrave acrylic and only dark acrylic at that. That said, the Glowforge Aura can cut colored acrylic. So I don't know why there's a difference, but that's what they each said. Okay, so it can't cut acrylic, not even dark acrylic. The Glowforge can. Also note that the Phecda cannot cut metal, such as aluminum or stainless steel. It can only engrave those materials. It does, however, claim to be able to cut wood with a maximum cut depth of 8 millimeters on the 10-watt machine and 14 millimeters on the 20-watt machine. 14 millimeters is actually pretty thick. I'm going to check and see what that is in inches. Hang on a second. I can't do that conversion in my head.
Inch is 25 millimeters.
Oh, so half an inch. Yes, just over half an inch. Thanks, Greg. Other things of interest about the Phecda are that it has an app to use on a mobile device. It works on iOS and Android, and it also works with Mac and Windows programs like Lightburn and Laser GRBL, neither of which I have used yet. So those are unfamiliar to me. The working area on the Phecda, once we've got it all assembled, is just under 16 by 16 inches, so like 15.5 by 15.5. So that's actually pretty roomy. That's larger than the Glowforge Aura's working surface. So Linda says, does this one need to be well ventilated? So it is supposed to have some filtration built into it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really curious about that because normally these things are venting out a window or or they're using like a large filter unit. These have, it actually came with 5 of these smaller filters. So what I'm thinking is maybe, they have a shorter kind of life expectancy. So, maybe you're replacing one every few projects instead of every few months like you would on a larger filter. And it doesn't seem to have, it has what's called an air assist, but I think that's just to kind of help with the filtration system. And it doesn't seem to have any sort of package for venting it to the outside. So I would be curious if that's included.
Yeah, I'm going to move our little link to the top of the screen so it's not in our way.
This is kind of a nice feature. So these are the protective glasses.
Yeah, so these are green glasses, and this is important because the diode, which is as I understand it, is a blue light diode, and you wear certain colored glasses. It can be orange or it can be green. There could be other colors too, but I know that these will work to just protect your eyes from the laser if you look at it directly, okay? So we'll set those there. I won't need them for a while, so we'll set them up here.
So I believe these would be our 4 baffles, which are our front, back, left, and right sides, I think.
Okay, cool.
I can tell you for sure this is the front because I see the little screen there.
Oh, yep, that's the screen. Okay.
And this, well, obviously, there's a lot of traversing components here.
Yeah, so you can see that piece right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
all right, so yeah.
That would be on the back then.
Yeah, so the first step is to join the 4 parts together on a horizontal plane.
Well, we have a horizontal plane.
In other words, our work surface, right? I guess they don't want us to do it vertically or whatever. Pay attention to the installation direction of the baffle. I think that they mean like you wouldn't want to assemble it like with these parts on the outside, right?
Well, you wouldn't want it upside down. So, for example, there's like little legs that go on here, and there's
Right.
things
Yep.
that cords attach to, so they need to be down. So I think that's essentially here. This would be the front.
Lori says to grab the screwdriver from yesterday. We're going to.
Oh, we have it.
Oh, we have
Oh,
it.
absolutely. So this is probably...
Yes, Sherry, we totally
probably
are.
the rear. Or maybe this larger one is.
And remember to speak up since you don't have a mic.
Yeah, in fact, I'm talking to her apron, which is very weird, so I apologize. But
We're working on the mic situation.
we're doing what we got to do. So let's look at our book here. All right. So, oh, see, they're all indicated on the side here.
Oh, yep, there they are. All are. Yeah.
Front baffle.
Front baffle. Okay, this is the front.
Yeah.
What's this one? I don't see one that says that. Maybe the other side.
Here it's probably the rear.
Yeah. Is there a page?
Oh,
in
yes,
that?
you can kind of see a hint there. Yeah. Actually, like it's larger. Oh no! See, it's on this.
It's on the side. Yep.
Which means if that is the front, this would be that side.
Sailing serendipity. I'll probably be talking more than Greg, so I'll make sure that I repeat what he says if it's really important.
Yep. Filters here. I think this goes here.
Okay.
And I believe right. Well, okay. So what we could definitely see. It will make sense, I think, as we go. So
yes.
we need to find the screws, though. That we need.
Oh, yeah. Screws would be really good to have.
And there's a lot of little boxes. So maybe it's in one of those.
What's that?
These, just like these here.
They're just risers.
They're calling them
right?
risers. Yeah. So on like the Glowforge, like you have to set like the height of the material, the thickness of the material, what they call the focal height, and that's done through the software. I think this one you actually are able to attach longer legs, so you could put a taller object underneath it, if that makes sense.
Right, like a thicker object.
This doesn't have a full enclosure.
Right. Yeah. So that matters actually. Yeah.
So these look to be more of these, maybe little extenders or something. We'll get to that.
Okay. So we're looking for screws right now.
Oh wow, there's even more. So we have a lot of risers.
We have a lot of risers, yes.
We know what this is.
That's a power cable. Doesn't look very that big of a deal. I'm going to also edit this so that everyone who comes in and sees us knows what we're doing. Since it's going to probably be a longer laser engraving machine. There we go. I'm just editing the text that will show up at the top of the screen. There. And then if anyone comes in and is like, what are you guys doing? Then you will all know. There we go. There. Okay.
Look in there.
These are, yes, I see screws. This is the little pack of materials. So it's not like a big bunch of materials. So everyone doesn't think they're getting a whole lot of stuff. The Glowforge comes with like full-size materials, but this clearly has just like little stuff. And in here are the screws. Put them all out for you. And they're all labeled too, what they are. So all the pieces are on here. And there's another one. Oops, there's another one right here. There we go.
Also, I just found this actually hidden in there. I was trying to figure out why these baffles seem to be different sizes. This might actually be like one of the X-axis or something like that. So we're going to get to that. I think this comes later.
Okay.
I guess, which is what I'm saying.
Okay. That makes sense.
So let's look at this again and see if this makes more sense.
Okay.
You have the front.
Yes, this is the front, which has the Eligo name on it.
And then if you look in the instructions there.
Right, so the
one with the fan.
One with the fan, which is this piece right here. That goes on the left side.
make sure we know top and bottom. Yeah. So
yes,
this shows this fan
like that.
up like this. So this is a fan here. So it looks like it's going to be a tension in here. Looks like each of them will have 4 screws.
4 screws. Okay.
That's promising.
Yeah, that's promising. Yes, that it went together and looks okay.
Yeah, I imagine that's while this isn't the most inexpensive of laser engravers.
You mean the most expensive?
Well, I mean
it might be the most inexpensive. I haven't seen a cheaper one. Have you? I haven't.
I have seen cheaper ones. Okay,
fine. Than that. Not many though. This is definitely at the low end.
It is on the low end.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that if you're assembling it yourself, there's probably some cost savings in there. Like when you get the Glowforge, the thing's all assembled, and it's not really surprising to me that it's thousands of dollars as a result.
Well, $1,000. The Glowforge Aura is $1,000.
The Aura is, yes.
This one that we're doing here is about $500. It's a 20 watt, and the 10 watt is about $250. So, and that's the thing is that, like, I mean, you're not just paying for it to be pre-assembled. There are other things too. But user friendliness in general is a big thing to keep in mind, right? So a lot of people will ask us questions about things like this, and that's what us doing it together with you is all about right now.
So what kind of screws do we attach this with?
All right. It just says mount screws at the joint.
Well, okay.
It doesn't say which ones to use.
Well, there would need to be 16 of them because there's 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom of
Okay, that would be CM48 because it says 16 right here. So good deduction. Yes.
CM46.
CM46. No, CM48.
I think it's a 6.
Oh, is it? It looks like an 8. Maybe I just can't.
Oh. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be these though.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think so too.
Typo.
Yeah, so something, whatever. It's got to be those. I agree with that.
I agree.
Someone asked me if someone is going to win this, and no, we're planning to keep this here at the studio. But like, if we decide that it's like we don't want to give this away to anybody without knowing whether we think it's good or not. Like that's always a really important thing for us. Like is to lead you to the right thing. So we're going to evaluate it first. If it turns out it's awesome, you can totally see it show up in a giveaway in the future for sure. There's a comment here from, where was that? Pixie says, you two are the complete opposite of me and my husband. We would be arguing over the assembly of this. You are brave souls.
Hey, we just got started. There's an opportunity.
There totally is. I'm pretty sure we've had arguments during assembly before. Are we going to argue on a live video? We're not going to be on our best behavior.
We got to be professional.
Yes. User friendliness, I think, is a big deal. You know, like if you get something and it's a great price, awesome. But if you are intimidated about using it, about setting it up, and that is that level of fear and comfortableness is different for everyone, right? Some people love assembling things and making themselves, and some people don't. So everyone gets to decide for themselves what they're comfortable with. Gwen says, I'm curious about the software used to control the engraving. I don't like that the Glowforge requires you to be online and connected to their servers. All right, so my understanding is that there's at least 3 ways that you can control this Phecda. One is using their app, and I'm going to see if I can actually show it to you while Greg is working on putting the 4 baffles together. I'm going to plug in my phone. We'll see if it shows up or not. And bring in the app. All right, let's see if I can get my phone to come up.
Also, look at this convenient electric screwdriver.
Oh yeah, this is what we showed you yesterday. Isn't this cool? This is the DIY Life electric screwdriver.
Yes.
It's perfect for this. It's perfect.
This is what we were talking about too, is like you wouldn't want to necessarily use an actual electric drill on this for breaking the bolts or screws.
Yeah, exactly. All right, my phone. Let's see if that works or not. It doesn't. Oh, it does. Okay, cool. So this right here, you can't see it, but it's the icon that says Phecda and it's blue. I'm going to open it. I got it from the App Store. It was free. So I'm opening it up. Eligo laser. And this is what you see when you first open it. And there's a material library. I don't know what that is. I'm going to tap on create. And this gives us the ability to draw. So I can like draw things and there's different thicknesses, right? So you can have it thicker, right? So you can draw and you can also go get a photo of, let's say, a cat. Stick the cat in there. That looks a little bit weird, but whatever. Let's undo all of this and just put his face, his cute little, oh, it's in there. All right, so there's our cat. So we could engrave our cat onto a project, for example, using the app. And then you can also do just text. So you can type out, we'll stick Butterscotch, that's his name on there. Okay, not the best design, but whatever, you get the idea, right? So you can use the app to send things. And so we tap on next, and maybe we'll try this later. I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's a very dark photo, so that's hard. I like that they're giving you some settings.
Yeah, this is cool. So I'm just tapping the things at the bottom. Gray looks really good. Gray reminds me a lot of, can I show them real quick here? Yeah. Go ahead. So you can keep going. Sorry. This one right here, this is also Butterscotch, and that's engraved. And it's just from a photo. All right. If we tap on next, we can choose the power settings and the speed. And down at the bottom, like we could choose it to go onto a metal business card, stainless steel, basswood, willow board. There's a bunch of materials down there already set. Or I think that you can choose your materials. Let's say it's going to go on a willow board.
I do like
basswood
presets,
board. Yeah.
Actually.
All right. So it's changing the power and speed settings as we go. And then tap next. We can save it. We can resize it here. There's a bunch of other options. Engrave. And the device is not connected. So, of course, because we haven't set it up yet. So that is the app software that you can use. But then there's also, and then you don't have to be, I don't know if you have to be online. I'm guessing it's Bluetooth. I don't know for sure yet, but it probably is Bluetooth, right?
It seems like I saw like a slot for a card on there, so I don't know if it's like a USB kind of flash drive.
Oh yeah, maybe there could be something. Yeah, so
but there's also an antenna, so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. And you can also use 2 software programs that work on Mac and Windows. One is called Lightburn, and the other is called Laser. I've already forgotten. It's a bunch of initials, GRBL, something like that, okay? I don't remember right now exactly what it was called, and I don't know if you have to be online or not to use them, but there is a card slot, and I think that you might put things onto a card. And if that's the case, you don't have to be online to use it. So it's different in that regard.
But it's hard to say until we actually play around with it, because you might need calculations to be done, against their server or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is what the Glowforge is doing. All right, so we have assembled the 4 baffles.
Awesome. All right, so we've done step number 1.
I'm actually really
and step number 2.
Impressed how large this is.
I know, this is huge. This is a lot bigger than the Glowforge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, step number 3: install and fix the bottom hole of the connection. Does that make sense?
Fix the bottom hole of the connection.
And it says
like
to
what
use
we're doing is putting in
8 pieces of CM4 8.
Looks like we're putting in risers, is what it looks like.
And then machine fixed foot installation.
Install and fix the hole of the connection.
And it says at the bottom
the whole,
what,
as in the entirety of the.
Yeah, so it says to use 4 of these, 4 of these, and 4 of these.
The PM416.
Although it starts with using 2 screws, and it looks like.
Yes, I think I've done that.
Yeah, you have done that. You totally did that.
I flipped it over and did it.
You did that. Okay. All right. Yeah. So now you're doing the machine fixed foot installation.
PM4.
Elizabeth says, sorry I'm late. What is Jennifer unboxing? We are unboxing a Phecda laser engraving / cutting machine, which is assembly required. So we are assembling it with you so that you can see what's involved and decide if it's something to put together or not. All right. So, and we're on step number 3 where we are putting in the machine fixed foot. Installing the machine fixed foots. All right, I'm looking for other questions. Marcia says this looks like assembling IKEA furniture. We love assembling IKEA furniture.
Yeah,
no one ever.
I like it.
Greg does all of the assembly at this point, I would say, of our IKEA furniture. I will buy it and say, Greg, would you put it together for me? And he does. Yes, and he says, yes, of course. He's awesome. Christy confirms that you don't have to be online to use Lightburn or Laser GRBL. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate that.
That's good to know.
Roxanne says, how large of a project can you do on this machine? So the working area is approximately 15.7 inches square. So just under 16 by 16 inches, which is really quite large. The Glowforge is
I want to say the usable
area. The usable area of the Glowforge.
It's like 11 by 20 or 11 and a half by 20, something.
So it doesn't go, so in one regard, it's like wider, but it's not as tall. So it's like more of like a rectangular work area. And that's the Glowforge Pro and Plus. The Glowforge Aura is only 12 by 12. So, and really we should be comparing this to the Glowforge Aura and other things like that.
You should get a piece of the Aura's acrylic. It's in that box over there.
Okay. To show them the size. That's a good idea.
Because it will show you the size.
Okay. This is a cut piece, but it'll let you see.
Pieces too.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
Okay. I think these are just all the ones that we've... No, the other ones are different sizes for something else. So this is the acrylic from a Glowforge Aura. This is 12 by 12 inches. So you can see what a difference that is right there, right? It's a lot bit different. And you couldn't even cut this on the Phecda. You could only engrave it, according to what they say. We're not sure why. If anyone in the chat knows why that is, I'd love to know. We think that maybe they're just playing it safe. But perhaps there's more to it that we don't know yet. But there are both diode lasers, so.
So when it comes to the affordable side of laser cutting engraving, often what happens is the machine will tend towards engraving, which is what we kind of think is happening here, or it will tend towards cutting. And then the higher end machines tend to do both. Like the Glowforge does everything fairly well.
I was going to put it on. Thanks.
What's cool too, I was talking about those risers, is you just, you can't even really see it.
You bring it up higher and they can see it. Yep, there you go.
Oh yeah. No, these risers, they look like they just screw in there to make it taller. It's not really focusing, but you can.
Yeah, they get the idea.
Yeah. You got to put that in there. Quit playing around. We got to build it.
All right, so we've put the machine fixed. We've installed the machine fixed foots.
Fixed foots.
Step number 4: install and fix the X-axis assembly. All right, so there it is. Let's move it up so we can see. And I'm going to make the little thing at the top smaller too. Here you go. You can use that while I work on that.
So our x-axis, what is that?
Yeah. You can explain that?
Right here.
Yep.
This is going to be so these are the belts that will traverse to. Yeah, so I guess that oh yeah, you can kind of see it in here. So this piece here traverses left and right. This here, the X, is traversing forward and back. So that's how you get all your motion on that. So it would be helpful if you read it since you have the mic.
Yes. All right. Install and fix the X-axis assembly. Through the baffle holes reserved on both sides of the machine, move the middle parts to the corresponding holes and install and fix the screws respectively.
I think I understand what a baffle hole is here. I think it's this.
Does that make sense? And it says that you're going to use 4 pieces of KM4 screws. 4 KM4 screws for this.
4 KM.
Yep, it looks like that one. So show the camera so they can see too. This one.
What little screws?
I don't know. Seems like a good idea.
It does matter, really.
So reading this, I can't help but be reminded. So when I lived in Japan my second year in 1993, I was a translator from Japanese. You can go ahead.
I'm looking.
Here, take a look at that. I was a translator of written Japanese to written English, and I did software manuals and other things like that. So technical writing. To specifically avoid the issue that we are encountering with their materials, because having a native speaker write the instructions makes all the difference in the world. As you know, like to get the words quite right. So that's actually one of my very first jobs after college. Was a translator of written Japanese to written English for software manuals. Very exciting, huh? I did that for a year when I lived in Japan. So I actually worked, I remember it was this big room. There weren't even any cubicles. We all sat at desks. Everyone was like crammed in there, and like there was zero privacy. I remember I didn't like it at all. But I did enjoy translating. I thought it was like a mystery to solve every time. And I wish that that anyone, if I had a wish, it would be that anyone would just spend a little extra money and have a native speaker translate their instructions into that language for whomever needs that language, right? It makes such a difference. I see a question about, was Japanese my first language? Well, my first language is English, right? Because I was born in Michigan, right? But the only language I've ever learned, other than a tiny bit of German when I was a kid, is Japanese. So that's it. That's my only language, is Japanese. All right. Yeah, it happens a lot on Amazon, doesn't it, Michelle? And I don't know why they don't take that extra time. The company I worked for was willing to do that. You know, granted, perhaps the products had a higher price point, but I think it would really make a difference. So if Elegoo, how do we pronounce that word? Do you know?
I don't know.
We always say Elegoo, I think. We could be wrong.
Because Elegoo sounds weird.
Elegoo does sound weird, doesn't it? Right. So,
like, hey kids, what are you playing with? Elegoo. Yeah, don't play with that.
I'm not offering, by the way, to write. Those days are behind me. I mean, I still write, but I don't write for anyone other than Jennifer Maker. So,
to be fair, the IKEA instructions page, they don't have words in them.
They don't have any words, right? So if they could do it all through photos, that would be totally fine. That's probably even more work, though, because you have to write all those illustrations. It's a lot. All right, so do we have the
I've done the top screws. I think I have to do the bottoms.
All right, so what's the next step here?
I have to do the bottoms.
Oh, okay. Yes, it says so I think this is the next step, this one right here. Yeah.
I could see this tricking people. There's these holes on the end here.
Can they see them? Where are they?
Yeah, they're on the end there.
Oh, those,
so
yeah.
So this has to be lined up just perfectly with it so you could get a screw in that hole.
Yeah. Fun.
It's handles. I got this.
Linda asks, what made you choose Japanese? Well, it was kind of just chosen for me. I went to Lansing Community College before I went to University of Michigan. And when I was there, they had a program called Japan Adventure. And my mom found out about it and encouraged me to apply for it. And it was like a work study program a year abroad. So I'm like, well, why not learn Japanese? And this was in 1986. I went in 87. I don't know if anyone else remembers the 80s, but Japanese culture, Japanese language, Japanese business models were huge. Everyone was talking about them. So it made a lot of sense to learn more. But what I discovered is that Japan is an awesome place. I absolutely loved my time there. I went back 5 years later, and we're hoping to go next summer as a family. So I haven't been back since then. But I am so grateful for that program that I went on. I made awesome friends and learned so much about myself and about my own country by doing it too. Really, really broadened my horizons. Also, some of my own design, what would we call it? Design feel, the things that I care about.
Aesthetic?
Aesthetic, yeah, thank you. My own design aesthetic actually harkens back to my time in Japan because I found so many things I just fell in love with, and you will see echoes of that in my own projects. So all these things that we do in our lives, they really make a difference. You know, they change our path. So, and I loved my time in Japan. I cannot wait to go back again. Mary says, could you tell me the name of the electric pen screwdriver? I would love to. So we actually reviewed this in yesterday's video. So if you want to watch the video, it's on our YouTube channel. It's called the DIY Life Electric Screwdriver. We got it on Amazon. If you go to jennifermaker.com/wowstick, you will see it linked in there. There's actually a Wow Stick version, and then there's this DIY Life. This is the DIY Life one that we're using right now. We've had this one for a while. Greg says he likes it the best. So yeah, so it's really cool. But it's basically just a small pen, electric, and it's powered through, you charge it with a USB cable. So it's pretty awesome. It's perfect for something like this. Jewel says, Jennifer, do you still speak and write the language? Well, because I learned Japanese when I was still pretty young, so I was 18 when I started learning it, all of the 2 alphabets they have, hiragana and katakana, I still know them because they got like hardwired into my brain because I was young enough. And I know some of the kanji, some of the characters as well, but a lot of it I've forgotten. Spoken Japanese, on the other hand, was always a struggle for me, just like spoken English is a struggle for me. And I'm sure I can say my name and I can understand some basic stuff, but can I carry on a conversation? No. So I will need to brush up before we go back this summer. But some stuff is stuck in my head and it isn't ever going to go away for sure. That's the cool thing about learning a language when you're young. It gets built in. It gets baked in. Awesome. I'm reading your comments. I see someone went to Sicily. Oh, someone is from Sicily. Wendy went to Brazil as an exchange student in the 80s. That is awesome. Yes, Lori, we want to go to Japan this summer. We actually want to go to Japan and Taiwan with our daughter Alexa. Go on a big family trip. We got our passports, so we're really excited to go. All right, so what's the next step?
So I am doing a confusing bit here. I am attaching the
Axis assembly?
The X-axis assembly against the front baffle, and then lining up a belt.
Okay.
And passing it over.
All right, so let's look at this together. So here's the instructions if anyone wants to see what we're doing. So we're on step 6 under my thumb there. So when installing, drag the X-axis assembly against the front baffle. Keep the X-axis horizontal. All right.
So the way these traverse is it's kind of hard to see, but they're on belts. Little tooth belts. In fact, you can see one of them right here.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how well they can see that. Whatever.
Yeah, they can see it.
But anyway, there is a motor up here that's going to attach to this axle. And on this side, this belt is going to go over the teeth of this wheel.
Oh my goodness.
So it'll be kind of like that. So when this axle turns, it's going to
turn the belt.
Yep, exactly. So that is what I'm doing right now.
That's crazy that you have to put belts on axes.
This is still easier than assembling some of the printers, the filament printers I've done.
Well, there you
And
go.
also, I would like to point out that the Eligo printers that I love, because they're cheap and kind of awesome, they're resin printers and there's no assembly. They come right out. So
it's kind of nice. So, but no assembly. I mean, when we get a Cricut cutting machine, we take it out of the box, we take out some of the packing material, plug it in, and it is ready to go, right? So, and it is, the Cricut cutting machine is one of the most user-friendly machines I have ever used, right? When you compare it against something like this, it's clearer to see, like, that juxtaposition, you know. We're like there are belts in the Cricut. They are pre-installed. It's all done. You just take it out of the box. It's so cool. All right. I'm looking for any other questions while Greg is putting the belt onto the drive, the little motor. Yeah. I love that you are all sharing in the chat. That is awesome. That's exactly what I want you to be doing. So keep that up. Thank you. Pamela says, I would need a Greg clone to assemble this.
No.
I don't think that's true. I think that you could totally do it. So for one, you've got this video. You can see exactly what we're doing on the camera. You can do this. I could do this. I wouldn't be able to do it as good as Greg, but I could still do it. I think it would just take me more time. For sure, you could do this.
But if you happen to have a Greg clone, could I perhaps borrow him? Because there's so much stuff at the house that we need to do right now.
In December, it's always a crazy month for us because we spend a lot of time here in the studio doing videos like this instead of at home, you know, like cleaning.
Don't even have our Christmas tree up yet.
No, we don't have. Well,
it's funny for us.
Yeah, where we have like
6 of them in here.
Yeah, it's in the box. It's like ready to go. It's just not. I mean, we got a twinkly tree this year. A new twinkly tree. A twinkly is like those lights that I showed you. What was it, like 3, 4? No, on day 1 of Merry Maker Mingle. So you can get whole trees that are covered in twinkly lights. So we had one last year, but we got another one this year, and we're gonna put it in a different part of the house. So yeah, those are really cool. Greg wants a Greg clone. It would be really useful. All right. How's it going?
I think it's good. Seems like maybe. Working on it.
Okay. Dory says, I bought the tree upstairs, but it's still not put together. This week has been crazy. It sure has. Cheryl says, my ex-husband's entire family is from Lansing. We had the opportunity to visit back in '80 when the grandmother turned 95 years old. So I was born in Lansing, and then I moved. I was in Lansing all the way up until I moved to Ann Arbor to go to University of Michigan. Ann Arbor is only like an hour away from Lansing for anyone who isn't familiar with Michigan. And I really, really liked Ann Arbor. It was always the cool city when I was growing up. It was always the cool place to go. But then I came here to go to school, and I decided just to stay here. And I have not regretted it at all. And our farm, so we bought 100 acres in Dexter, Michigan. Dexter is right next to Ann Arbor. It's like, it kind of feels like you haven't really left, in fact. In fact, someone the other day called it a mini Ann Arbor. So, you know, we're still really in Ann Arbor. If anyone's curious, it's a pretty awesome part of the state. We have, I think it's because of all the universities we have here. It really makes a difference. Also, some people have called it like a little Silicon Valley because of all the tech companies we have as well. And also, if you like look it up on Wikipedia, it talks about being like really creative and stuff. So there's a lot going for it here. You know, lots of education, technology, and arts. It's a very, really cool city. Evan says, I need a Greg. Well, Greg is mine. But there's others out there, I'm sure. All right, so what are you doing right now so they know?
Still working on the same thing. There's
Scoot over so they can see. There you go.
It's kind of hard to. And I'm basically attaching the axle onto this motor here.
Using a
little Allen wrench.
Yep.
I don't want to use an electric driver on that because I'd hate to break it by forcing it. Which they included these tools, by the way. So everything we've done so far, you could have done out of the box.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You don't have to have that electric screwdriver that we're using. We're just using it because it's convenient, and it makes it faster. So it was nice that they gave you little tools. I would agree. All right. I saw a question. Vicki says it's so cold in the winter up there. How do you deal with that type of weather?
We wear sweaters.
That's a great question, Vicki. Sometimes I don't know how we deal with it. Everything is great up until like the new year because, Christmas and winter go together. So it's all fine. Like the snow was falling today. It was really pretty out. Big fluffy white snowflakes. But then after the holidays are over, things start to just seem sort of bleak. And it's not really the cold so much as the lack of sunlight. That's the big issue, I think, about living in Michigan. That's hard. Like it's mostly cloudy in the winter. So just gray. And everything is monotone so the way that we deal with it is by trying to get away once during the winter to somewhere warm and sunny to get some vitamin D, and it makes a big difference. We can't always do it every year, but if we can, it helps us and it improves our moods just because we need it. Everyone needs that. The sunshine is the real thing that makes the difference. We're pretty close. Michigan is pretty far up there. So it makes a difference. And I've often wondered, why don't I live somewhere warmer or further south? And it's just really awesome here in the late spring, summer, and fall. It really, really is. It's an awesome place to be. And it's my home. So I like it. That's why I stay. That doesn't mean that one day I won't want to winter somewhere else. Maybe one day when I'm older. So are we on a different step?
It's still just a different part of the same step. So now the axle is on now, so it will turn. You can kind of see it over there turn and whoop when this thing moves.
Yep.
So I'm just fixing the belt.
Okay, move it up so they can see.
It's kind of hard to position and hold it up.
Can we move? Can you move it up on so they can see on the camera? Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. So he's putting the belt on the other side, it looks like, right?
Yeah, it's a belt. So there's a wheel on either end. So I'm just putting it around there.
Susan says that's why she likes Colorado. You still get snow and it's cold, but there is sun a lot. Did you know Greg is from Colorado?
It's true. I was just there actually visiting family for Thanksgiving.
From the Grand Junction area.
I was born in Grand Junction and I grew up in Delta, which is kind of between Montrose and Grand Junction.
Yep. Colorado is awesome. But much higher elevation than Michigan. Much higher. All right, cool. So you pulled the belt through. Okay, cool. All right, what's next? Do you want me to read it?
Still trying to just kind of figure out how we connect our two ends of our belt together, which is what I have here.
Maybe it's on the next page. Have we done everything in step 6? Connect the coupling with the motor shaft and tighten the screws.
So we've done all of that.
Step 7 says fixed rear cover plate. So no, that's a different.
Like
maybe we don't attach the two belts parts together yet. Maybe it comes later.
Yeah, maybe.
So let's just follow the directions and see what they say to do next. So what's next? The rear cover plate.
Right. I'm just making sure because we're going to cover up the stuff I have to have access to. So.
I know. That's weird, huh?
Yeah.
How did we meet? Oh.
That's a great question.
Do you want me to tell them?
You can, yeah.
It's not a secret or anything like that. So we met playing a game. We met playing World of Warcraft in 2008. So I was living in Michigan and he was living in Colorado, and we were just playing a game. And so we just played, and then we just met in the course of the game and just played and became friends. And that is literally how we met. And we just talked to each other over a headset, like playing a game, just playing a game, not looking for, a partner, a life partner, anything like that, just playing a game. And then we got to know each other that way. I am still, I actually was just playing the other day. My character is a mage and his character is a paladin, which is very reflective of our personalities. And also we played, for anyone who knows World of Warcraft, we played and continue to play for the most part on Alliance. So has anyone ever played World of Warcraft? Diana says, I met my husband playing a game. That is really cool. Ziava says, I've played WoW since launch. I met my boyfriend there too. A lot of people actually have. I think that meeting someone doing something that you love is an excellent way to meet someone in a low, in an environment where it's like low pressure, because you're just getting to know people doing something that you like to do, and you're not like looking to date or anything like that. And so you start as friends.
You're sharing a hobby, so you're sharing a mutual interest.
Right. And I think that's the best way, really. So I think it's not at all uncommon for people to meet doing things like that.
Which is good, because we are not the type to use dating sites or go to bars.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
definitely not bars.
We're not the type.
We're definitely not. Neither of us are particularly like social butterflies at all.
We're little home buddies.
Yes, we are. Very much so. We're very alike in that way. So you're still struggling with attaching those two belts together?
Yeah, you know it.
I wonder if they're supposed to snap together or something.
Look like they can. I just feel like this is a very important thing to figure out.
All right, I'm gonna look at the instructions some more to see if I can. Oh, thanks. And also, like at this point, if we get, oops, my chair was stuck under the other table. Like when we get stuck at a step like this, like usually we'll go online and we'll look to see if anyone else, like what they did. Right? So it's kind of hard to go online when we're talking, but I can still do some research. All right, so checking the instructions right now to see if I spot anything about this. I don't see them. Pass the synchronous wheel through the synchronous belt and fix it on the bearing. Connect the coupling with the motor shaft and tighten the screws to fix it. Loosen the screws on the coupling during installation. I mean, yeah, I don't see anything here about attaching the belts together, or the two ends of the belts together.
They have these little gold ends on them, so it seems very deliberate.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step through here to see if is it possible they can get connected to something else, not each other?
It's possible.
And maybe there's another assembly
we can
here.
Continue on and just.
Yeah. I feel like they would have said something about attaching them.
So let's go ahead.
Okay, fine. All right. Next step is fixed rear cover plate, which looks like that. That's the rear. Nope, it's not.
It is.
Oh, it's this one. Yes. Matching it up to the diagram right here. Right. That's the fixed rear cover plate. So you want to attach it with 5 PM3 screws.
We have there. Okay, we should turn this around.
I know, Vicki, I agree. The instructions are not.
They are not clear.
They are not clear. So we can say that definitively right now. The instructions are not clear.
Again, they have a video online, like an official one. It might be better, but it's not voiced or anything, so you have to read it.
You still have, you have to read it.
This is really an awesome opportunity. This requires weeding, which is Jennifer's favorite thing. You can.
Aw,
weed.
you give it to me?
You love the weeding. Everybody who knows
don't.
Jennifer knows she loves to weed.
I don't. It's just got a piece of paper on it. I'm just gonna peel it off.
2 sides. Yeah.
2 sides.
And this is
This is the easy weeding. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, no, it's
see,
not.
you shouldn't have said that. Yep.
Is there weeding? Can you give me the weeding tool? Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, really. I don't like weeding at all. It's such a pain. And see, it's stuck right
You
there.
got overconfident. Yeah.
I did. I totally got overconfident. I'm like, oh, this is no problem. I can do this.
Famous last words. I got this. It's easy. So, my theory here is this is part of the thing that helps contain the smoke. That's channeling it with the help of the fan and through a filter.
Yeah. So why is it orange? Oh my gosh, what a mess.
Well, it's probably.
I'm gonna set it down here. Maybe that'll make it easier.
It's probably blocking some of the laser light. It probably is cool because it's orange, and it's transparent so that you can see through to what the laser is doing.
Oh man, this is like terrible. Yeah, the cover on the Glowforge Aura is orange.
See, Karen Hall loves weeding. She can do it next time.
Oh, you love weeding? Yeah, you can totally. Anyone who loves weeding can do this. Like, this is just terrible. All right, I think I might have gotten this side. I still have to do the other side. Oh my goodness. And it's not even the good weeding tool. This is the one with the little bent thing on the end. I don't like this tool. It drives me nuts. It's like, got like a little hook. Do you know this tool, everybody? I like the one that's just got the straight end. You gonna help me? Sorry, it's taking forever. Greg is pretty good at weeding. I have given projects to Greg to weed in the past. You want to try it? Yeah. Okay, good. You do it.
I know how much you loved it, but...
What? See?
She chimed in again, and then so I'm going to have to ask you to remain perfectly calm.
Okay.
Not a peep. See how it's going fine? Don't say anything.
Oh my gosh. Really? Yeah. Clearly, I am not any good at weeding.
I like that this is the first time I'm changing Allen wrench sizes on this project, which is nice.
Yeah, it is nice. It's very floppy.
That's because
it's upside down right now.
Sitting on top of it.
Yeah, these are its legs, right? Yeah. So where's it going to go? Right back here?
This is going to be attached here.
I wonder if I could show the other view too. I wonder if they could see anything with that view. I'm going to try it right now.
It's kind of hard.
Oh, see? You can kind of see it.
Can you?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to move this photo of you.
This is another great application of this electric screwdriver because this is just acrylic, and if you would use like an actual power drill on this, you would probably break it, crack it.
Right, yeah.
And since it's likely used to help keep the smoke contained or the off-gassing contained, the last thing you want is a bunch of holes and cracks in that.
Oh, yeah, totally. Janice says, I'm not interested at all to own one of these machines, but I am enjoying watching you two put it together.
We are so glad. There were
my little picture here.
We had a long conversation about how are we going to do this on a video and fit it inside the time. And we never did come up with an answer, actually. We just figured it out. Okay,
yeah.
That part's done.
Okay.
Looking nice there.
Dale says, can the machine engrave on clear acrylic? No. The Phecda cannot engrave on clear acrylic.
Seems to be one of its limitations. I really, we should get it do more research and get a grasp on how the wattage and laser types and like why something with higher wattage will fail to do something that something with a lower wattage
yeah,
will.
that bears some research. I agree.
Like this will do things that the Aura won't, and the Aura will do things that this won't.
Mm-hmm. All right, ready for the next step?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, step number 8 is right here. It says connect the motherboard and install the antenna. So first you're going to connect to the corresponding location according to the identification code. And there's a code right here.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that is interesting. Donna says you're very brave to try to assemble this online.
So this is the thing
I
we're
know.
looking at here.
Here, let me switch to the view. Yeah, so that thing right there.
Yeah.
I can even zoom in on that since you're working on that.
I mean, I can kind of try to keep it up here too.
I'm going to zoom in so I can see it a little better. There.
Dramatic zoom and enhance. Is it focused? It doesn't want to focus,
That's
though.
as good as it gets because it's a digital zoom. But it's still a little closer.
Some of these already seem plugged in. Connect the corresponding location to the identification code. So each of these cables, well, none of them are loose enough to see. They have like a little tag that has a name, like a name on them. Yeah. They're actually really hard to see here. See these little white things?
Yes, I can see them. I can zoom in the camera. You want me to?
AUX there? Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to zoom in the camera.
But I will say that it seems like a lot of this stuff is already in there.
There. You just have to move it into position so they can see.
What am I moving into position?
Oh. They can see all of these things right here. They're off camera right now. I can take that if you want. Oh, I can also do this. There we go.
Yeah, I was going to say. So we're, this is the spooky part, but honestly, it seems like a lot of this stuff is already plugged in.
Yeah, so maybe they did it for you.
So maybe they actually have done it for us. And
I've seen that before, where they'll say do something, but it's actually already done. It's like maybe
oh,
it doesn't...
wait. We're going to have to... So the cables, I see. That makes sense. So I was wondering how that was going to come in. So we need to zoom back.
Okay.
Out.
All right. Let me zoom out then so you can see it. Okay.
So there's the cable harness. So this all comes from the our X-axis arm.
Yeah, and that is down here. You see him? It's attached down there at the bottom.
Yeah, so this is actually going to be connecting everything. Well, they can't really see.
They can't see that, but it's connected down there.
There's a cable. Everything having to do with the X-axis motors and fans and the laser itself is being put through these. So I have to follow this little diagram here. Make sure that's there. And
where's the diagram right there?
Here's going to be our opportunity. So see, we have an X, we have a TTL, we've got a flame, which I'm sure is the flame sensor, which is great.
Yeah, this machine does have a fire sensor, and it will shut down if it detects a flame. So, which I thought was pretty cool, actually.
So let's see. The flame sensor, which is that one. Can't really see it. I know it's awkward.
Barbara said, I know, this is a little awkward. Thank you all for hanging in there with us.
We now have fire safety. All right.
Woo, we have fire safety.
We now need, what is this one? In these diagrams, you plug them into little colored blocks. In reality, they're just black.
Yeah, there's no colored blocks here.
They should have just coded
them.
all of these things, and it probably would have been fine. But what do we have here? So this is X. This looks a lot worse than it is because, I mean, these won't fit in every spot. So
they're they will only go into certain ones.
Yeah, I'm sure you could mess it up if you really tried. But this is TTL. TTL goes next to TTL goes next to X.
Awesome.
And then one of these is not labeled, but I'm assuming it is the fan controller. So if anything goes wrong, it was this step right here that I'm doing that messed it up. I'm quite sure.
All right, cool.
That's
So we got them all. They're all attached. It looks like it. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. What's the next step?
There was something about the antenna.
Yeah, I think it's. Oh yeah. So the antenna, it shows being right here. So right here.
That's
I
easy.
think.
That's what this guy is.
Yeah, that might be
Right
the
here.
easiest one to do.
Yeah.
Just screw it on.
It's just there's an antenna connection right there. Does it show? Does it need to face any directions? It probably doesn't matter, but it shows it going this way. If only we had a tiny included wrench.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Kind of starving.
Yeah, well, we need lunch after this. What do you want for lunch?
I don't know.
We had Subway yesterday.
We are not having Subway again.
I can always do it too. It might be easier for me to reach. You want me to try to get it tighter?
I think it's on.
Okay.
But see, they don't show the belt being loose.
Oh,
Yeah,
they don't.
And that's what I'm nervous about.
Yeah. Yeah, me to try
Continue.
to. Okay. Well, we're gonna follow the directions, right? Okay. So next we did the installation of X-axis assembly wiring, which is this step right here. It says plug in the cable plug.
Plug in the cable.
And I'll zoom out so we can see what we're doing.
Oh, we're moving on to a whole new exciting module here.
I don't know if that's the word for it, but okay.
I'm really hoping it's, well, might not be this. Might not be that. Everyone was so excited to be here for this.
Well, this is like helpful. This it's one thing to like just see something available to buy and it can do all these things, but when you have to assemble it, then you have to take that into account into your buying decision, right? Are you able to assemble it? And once it's assembled, is it going to work? So I'm not trying to do this as like a lesson in this. I'm excited about this. I'm hoping that it does awesome things.
So this is cool. You don't usually get to see these. Like, yeah, it is separate on it. So this is actually the laser emitter, I think, right here.
Here, I'll zoom in so they can see a little better. That's
Let's
a laser
see,
emitter, huh?
Let's point it right at our face and read what it says. Avoid exposure of eyes or skin to direct and scattered laser light.
Well, I think they mean when it's turned on.
You have to look right at it to read it, so I sure hope so. Class 4 laser. Don't look at it.
Class 4 laser, don't look at it.
No, well, okay, maybe I'm reading into it, but that is what it is. Which means we want to steer clear of
Class
touching
4
this
laser.
thing. It's got some cooling fans in there, and somewhere there should be a plug. Oh, here it is. Plug in the cable plug. There's something about that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Class 4 laser. Class 4 lasers are the most dangerous lasers and are considered hazardous for users outside of industrial setting. The FDA classifies lasers from 1 to 4. Class 4 lasers are any laser device that the FDA has determined is powerful enough to pose significant risk of injury to the eye. Thus, that's why we have things like safety glasses and there's like a, isn't there like a colored cover? Or is there a cover over this or not? There is, right? There's an enclosure.
There isn't like a enclosure to it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's open.
So
That's
those
kind of what I was
glasses are going to
saying.
be important.
This transparent kind of acrylic here is kind of serving that.
We only have one pair of glasses.
Well, then only one of us looks in there at a time. Yeah, I mean, really, you shouldn't. If you're using lasers, like, yeah, you'll look at it and it's really cool. Do not spend all your time staring at the laser. That's a terrible idea. And apparently, do not play with your cat. With this laser pointer in
Oh my
particular.
gosh, no,
So.
no. I'm not even sure this, like what I'm reading here is like it says class 4 lasers are not legal for general use. Like what?
Well, general use might mean
Maybe.
you just can't go to the store and just buy one to fool around with. It needs to be built into something.
Okay, yeah, that could be.
But I'm not an expert, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look up safety things. So, yeah, it does say that they're hazardous for eye exposure, so we're going to want to be careful. Now, the question I have is the Glowforge Aura a class 4 laser?
I believe it is, yes.
I think it is too, so I'm going to look it up though. Yes, the Glowforge Aura is also a class 4 laser. So, and I think that's a diode laser. Do you think all diode lasers are class 4 lasers?
The classification has to do with the safety and intensity of the beam.
I'm going to look it up
Plug
though.
in the cable. Insert the laser device along the groove and use these side screws to tighten it
No.
in. No?
The general cutoff for a class 4 laser is 0.5 watt per diode. So there's it's the wattage per diode, but that would mean that, so it's possible, I think, then to have a diode laser that isn't a class 4 if it's really, really low powered or something, right? All right, so you're putting the X-axis assembly. Is that what this? No.
Well, that's what
this is the assembly.
Yeah,
this is the assembly, and this is the X-axis itself, right?
This is the laser
device. This is the laser device. Okay. So it says to insert the laser device along the groove and use the side screws to tighten it at the desired height. And I'm going to put it over so that they can see what you're doing a little better. There we go.
No, I don't know what the desired height is.
Yeah, how would we know?
So I could just kind of put it in there for now. And
yeah.
See how it goes.
Lisa says, I'm also interested in the X tool, and are we going to show that at any point?
That would be telling. So.
That's right. It would be telling because they're mysteries until we open them up. So I guess you'll just have to wait and see.
I will say we've always wanted to compare one.
We have.
To the Aura. So.
We have always wanted to compare one to the Aura and to this. We want to compare everything to itself, to all the other things, so that because you know, we just want to know more about each one of these so that we can always steer people in the right direction when they ask us what they should get. All right, did you do it?
I have put it to the height that I have desired. So, all right. Pull out the focal length positioning bar and tighten the screws on the side. So this is really interesting. So again, I was talking about how usually you adjust it in the software, like on the Glowforge, like how high up you're working. This actually seems like it has like a little mechanical foot that sticks out. You can kind of see that. I don't know there.
Here, I can switch to the view, and I might be able to see it over there.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, there's like a little lever that sticks up. I think it helps determine that focus height. So what's the next step?
All right. The next step is we're on to step 11, and it says air filter installation, which you're going to attach with 2 PM3 screws. So where's the air filter?
So I believe it's this. I think this is the thing that might contain the filter. All right, so I will say this thing is topsy-turvy. You just have to keep moving it or turning it around and
Yeah.
Flipping it upside down.
You don't get to just keep it in one position and work with it. Yeah.
So we have the front, which is here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Do I? Oh, yes, I do. I had to look at it. There's a. It's hard to see, but there's a hole right here. See that?
Here, let me switch to this one. There's a better view.
And this is basically going through that. And there's screws on the underside of it that I'm attaching.
Okay. So you gotta put it on the. You gotta flip it over to put it on, and then flip it back over to screw it on.
Yeah. But we're running out of fasteners, so I think we've almost put in everything we need to.
So we're getting there. We're doing it.
We still have to figure out what's going on with the belt.
Yeah.
But
and it's just 3 screws for that.
2.
Oh, sorry, 2 screws. Yeah, just 2. And then the next step on step 12 will be the installation of the front cover plate and rounded corner baffle. And that's going to need to be weeded. Maybe you should just hand that over to me so I can start taking it off right now.
Do you promise to do it like
I promise to do a better
really
job.
well?
No, I don't actually promise to do it really well.
This one's needed actually. It looks like they have magnets set
It does.
into it.
Yeah, here, let's show them. So look, it's got these magnets here. So I'm going to take off all of the plastic with my weeding tool. Or that's the goal. Or the paper, sorry, the paper. I don't want to take off the plastic. While Greg works on that. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go really slow this time. Because that's what I saw you do. And I feel like that worked better.
You have to use the force.
Right. I've got it right up here. You see it? All right, let's see if I can do it. I'm going to go really slow. So far, it has not ripped.
Because the force is strong.
All right, sit like this. Maybe this will help. Hold it down against itself and then go slow. I feel like this is what I saw you do. So far, so good. I've got like 5 inches. It hasn't torn yet.
Some sort of weeding ASMR thing that you're kind of doing right now.
You can't really hear it. Barbara says, go, Jennifer. Move these little air filters out of the way. But look at that, 7 inches, 8. I'm doing it. This is totally working so much better. Don't jinx it. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in jinxing. You might, but I don't.
I don't generally.
I believe our success is in our own hands, and I am not superstitious. But this is totally working much better. Look, it has not ripped yet.
All right, I'm gonna cave here and peek at that video real quick.
Okay, go for it. Look at the video.
See if I can figure out what's going on.
And you know something, that is totally a thing that you should do. If you get stuck ever, look. I gotta just show you my success. I did it.
That's funny. I looked online and like people doing it, and it's our video playing. So I'm like, oh, what are they? Oh, they're on the same step as I am.
Oh,
and it sucks.
I have looked up stuff that I can't remember and found my own stuff, and I'm like, okay, so I'm just like teaching myself from the past. Actually, it happens a lot. All right. Anyways, yeah, when you get stuck, you should look online. There's YouTube videos of everything. Like, I cannot tell you how often I am looking online for solutions to problems multiple times a day, sometimes dozens of times a day. This is my normal life. Both of us, all 3 of us in our family, we're always looking for help online for our whatever we have. And I notice, I don't think people, maybe they don't do it as much as we do. Based on some of the comments I see in our groups. And I want you, if you're not doing it, I want you to do it. Google is your friend. YouTube is your friend. You can learn so much. It's just, when I think, if I'd had access to Google and YouTube as a teenager, I would have gotten into so much trouble. All right, so I just got to get it started. I know I can do this. I'm going to pull it in closer. Greg you can turn it up if you want. You're afraid of putting someone else's audio in there?
Well, they don't talk.
Oh, that's right. There's no talking. Okay, I'll be quiet so that I won't talk to you so that you can focus. Sandy says, I'm pulling double duty and also watching the Barely Arts live session. That's awesome. They're doing their Craftmas right now. Craftmas, I think that's what they call it, where they do live videos with crafts using their glue, which is awesome. Right? We use their glue for the project that is I showed you earlier. Okay, got started. Let's see if I can do as well this time. This is going to be tricky here with these little magnets because it's probably going to want to tear there. I might have to come back. Oh, I can use my tool right here to get these off. Like, the funny thing is, I'm sure they're trying to protect, or they might have just, cut these on their own laser and then didn't bother to take off the plastic or the paper. I'm sure that they'll say that they're doing it, to protect the plastic before we receive it. But if we just scratch it up when we're taking off the paper, what was the point of that? Just saying. Kristen says, I say go to University U of Tube. Yeah, totally. So, yeah, I just this morning, we're having our issue with their mics. And I was on Google looking for answers, and I didn't find that solution. So I posted in their Facebook group for help for our software. And I believe that will help. Did you figure it out, Greg?
Actually, in the official tutorial, it isn't like this. So.
Oh, in the official video, it's not like this. Well, that's reassuring. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay.
So it doesn't seem like.
Have we messed up?
It doesn't seem like it's broken. It seems quite deliberate. So.
Okay. So yeah, they have an official video. Whatever, we are following the directions that came in the box, which is what a lot of people will do. So this is good that we're doing this. Michelle says, I'm always Googling. Hey, Google. Oh, I had to be quiet because we have a Google device here, and it'll start saying, I don't know. And watching YouTube. Correct wording can mean a world of difference. Yes. That is so true. So how you phrase your search term really makes a difference. And I actually find the more details, the better. What do you need?
Instructions.
Oh, yep. There you go. I almost got it again. I just had to use my tool to get around the little magnets. There we go. It worked. Yay. All right. So this is the front cover. And it's got the little magnets on it that will... I don't even know why we have a front cover, but we do. So whatever, I guess we're going to find out. So I'll set this back here. 2 for 2. I know, right, Roxanne? I totally did it. Teresa says, oh, I looked like it was the Glowforge. Yeah, so it's not, this is not the Glowforge Aura. I actually have a video on the Glowforge Aura that's separate. You can go check that one out if you want. This is the Phecda laser engraver / cutting machine. They call it a laser engraver, and I think they're really trying to focus on the engraving part, less the cutting part, for whatever reason. But it is supposed to do some cutting too. And hopefully we're going to find out if it does or not today. We'll see. We'll see how far we get. But we are doing, the Phecda is less money than the Glowforge Aura, but as you can see, it's also got a lot of assembly required. And, I don't think it's as user-friendly as the Aura, for sure. I can say that pretty definitively at this point.
Yeah, we always talk about, like the Cricut. Some people don't feel that it's very user-friendly, but really it is when you in the grand scheme of things.
Totally.
It's
very user-friendly.
I'm working on it.
Okay, he's working on it. I'm gonna answer more questions if anyone has any questions. Martha says, I'm a visual learner, so this is helpful. Good. This is really what we're trying to do here, where we are not pretending to like know everything about this machine at all. We really want you to see, we really want you to discover it as we do, not like, you know, like just give it to you all nicely edited, because that's not the reality of it. The reality is what you're seeing here, right? And so yesterday in our video about the mini drill and the screwdriver, a person who shall not be named did not like the way that we did it and suggested that we, you know, should have done some, don't worry about me, you do your thing, and we should have done some research in advance so we seem more professional. And they called us some words that we weren't even sure what they were. I actually had to Google those because it was a term I wasn't familiar with. I think maybe not a native English speaker. I'm not positive. And I don't mean anything bad when I say that, of course. I just wasn't familiar with those terms. But you know something? We're not like, that's not what this is. I have many videos that are nicely edited and very clear. This is not intended to be that. This is intended to be a real life unboxing experience and playtest. And that is messy. And that is lots of, I don't know what this is. What does this do? What the heck is this? Because that is reality, right? It really is. And when we see that carefully cultivated, edited assembly video, I mean, it's really clear and easy to follow, but it's also not like it. Of course, it doesn't take me 20 minutes to do a project. Like, that's not a thing. We present our tutorials nice and clear so that you can follow them. But we're not trying to get you to follow what we're doing. We're trying to show you what the experience is like. And it's totally fine that someone said that. No one worry about it. I actually removed the comment already because I didn't want Greg to see it. But here I am telling you anyways, because I'm like the world's most transparent person. I didn't want him to see it because I don't want him to be discouraged, because I like that he's here doing videos with me. So, but I don't think he reads our comments anyway, so it was probably fine. And it's fine. It's totally fine. I have been online a really, really, really long time. I've been online since before people use the word online, and I have seen all of the comments about all the things, and it doesn't, I mean, I will sometimes obsess over a negative comment. It's true, but I'm like, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm used to, I've heard everything at this point, so it's okay. But I also have no problem if someone is not constructive criticism, and it's just kind of hurtful. I don't have any problem like taking that person out of my life either. So that's the truth. That's the way it is. So, and we should always have, we have, YouTube gives us those tools, and we have that power to do that. And that's what we should do. So everyone should, if anyone else is a content creator, you should exercise that power too, because it's not cool. So it's all good though. So how's it going? What you doing right now?
I have a lead.
You have a lead?
Yeah.
Oh, can I show what you're? I'm gonna switch the camera.
Not until I know it's work. I don't want to mislead anyone, so I know.
Okay.
For sure. I feel like my belt is.
All right, I'll wait until you feel confident about what you're doing.
I think the belt is on backwards. So there's.
Oh, the belt's on backwards.
How do we get the? Oh, you can't even really see it. Anyway, there's a little spot for the ends of the belt to connect to on the underside of this.
But one of them is way too lax.
But they seem on the, well, no, they just seem to be on the wrong side.
Oh.
Which I'm pretty sure that's how it was in there when I did it. So
yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine. We'll figure it out.
I'm going to adjust it.
Are you making progress?
I think so.
Should I wait to talk to you?
I think I'm almost there.
Awesome. So what did you do to fix it?
So in the instructions I saw, they show you're kind of putting the axle and the gear kind of through a one-piece belt. Ours was cut in the end, so it's just like, you know, it's not a full loop. It was just
so it's cut, but the instructions don't show it being cut, and so they never explain what to do.
That I saw. So
no, I agree with you.
I did see a video, and they were showing, and again, it was official, but it was on how to replace the belt. And in that, they show the process that I just did, which is figuring out where the two ends connect and how to tighten the belt and everything like that. So a little confusing, but I mean,
good job.
It's technology. I mean, you learn it or you don't. So.
Yes. And that is like that. Patience is required. Patience and perseverance is required to work with technology. But if we can manage to do that, it can take us so much further than we could on our own. So always remember that. It's worth it to be patient, and it's worth it to persevere on these things. It really is. I mean, at some point, it's not. At some point, there is a limit, but it's, I think, a lot further than a lot of people realize. Speaking as a person who uses technology all the time to do things. Lynn says, how do you get involved with the Kickstarter of a product? Oh, so Kickstarter.com is just a thing. You can just go there and check it out. So Kickstarter.com is a place where companies, not always technology companies, other ones, just any small company that's looking for financial backing on a new idea, they'll put their idea on there and they'll say, hey, would you like to be involved? And usually the way it works is that you can be a backer, and in exchange you get something, such as this. So we just literally, it's just, in this case, it was just you can buy it.
It was
right.
You got it first, which didn't matter because ours just sat in the box until today. But there was, for this, early bird pricing.
Yeah, that was a good price.
So,
it was a good price. So a lot of times Kickstarters can be great prices. Like the HTV Ront, one of the, they did a Kickstarter at, no, they didn't do that. Someone did a Kickstarter recently. And so if you pay attention to those, sometimes you just have to be willing to be an early adopter, right? You have to be willing to have the patience and perseverance with new technology to understand it, and figure it out and sit there and work on it and all those things.
But it's also buyer beware.
Oh yeah, you have to be cautious.
Yeah, generally I've had good luck with things, but sometimes I've
heard stories
longer than it took, or
really or
stuff,
sometimes read the fine print. That's read it, that there's, and sometimes they will take your money and not send you anything. I don't mean Elego. I mean there are some companies on there.
It's not as much of an issue as it
used to be. Yeah, I agree with that.
But like Elego here, when they put this up there and said, "Hey, it's going to deliver in 6 months or whatever," that means that they are already built. They're just looking for financial kind of backers. But I got in because I wanted it a little cheaper, which is why I did it. So.
Yep.
All right. I think we're ready to go back to the step where we attach.
Awesome. Good job, Greg. I'm proud of you for persevering.
Guarantees.
I know. It's all good.
I feel like it's working.
Okay. So then we are on the air filter installation. We did that?
Yes.
Oh, we're on this.
Yep.
We're on step number 12 in our manual, which could be different than yours, which is the installation of the front cover plate and rounded corner baffle.
So you might want to switch to the other camera view. I imagine all we're doing here is
putting it right on the front there.
Well,
that was easy.
That was nice and easy, yes. Which means this is removable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, what's the next?
All right, so that was step 12. Oh, this is step 12, and then that's it.
What?
There's nothing more.
What about?
Yeah, I don't know.
And this connector for step 2.
This is page 10, and this is page 11. So.
Well, let's see what we got here.
Maybe they want us to do something, but when you have to power it on.
Maybe this is a part of it. Maybe we need to power on before we continue.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. So there is some sort of tube. And
so this is the tube.
And all this, and it seems like there's a way that it connects on here. Let's see, maybe.
All right, so let me take the stuff out of the bag, okay? Yeah, what would this would be for the...
Well, here is something else I can do for sure.
I don't know what this is. All right, so there's this stuff. Oh no, so yeah, the front cover just came right off. But it'll go right back on, no problem.
Maybe I had it backwards there.
Oh yeah, it just snaps right on there.
There's these little plates that will cover up.
This is the front here. So our camera is like not even zoomed out far enough to see the whole thing. I guess we don't have to see the back. So let's just keep it like back like this. And then we can see all of it. How's that?
There's little boxes that had some
I don't know. So this is the materials bag. Here's these tube things.
I wonder if...
What's that?
That's great. It certainly
Show the camera.
Certainly looks important, does it?
It looks very important.
Like it could be part of
this
the
is the air assist. Could this be the air assist?
The air assist. Which I hope there's instructions for that. All right. So there should be a little. Oh, here they are. Yes. So I'm sure that's the air assist. Okay. It looks like it somehow attaches onto the nozzle there. So we probably should set that up.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's a bunch. There's things that aren't just materials in there. Let's show. I mean, yeah, show them those.
They're just like adhesive backed plates.
Yeah.
I think that they're just covering up. There we go. The screw holes, stuff like that. See?
Here, I can zoom in while you do that. You can see what you're doing. There.
They're just really.
They're really
chunky stickers. That's all these are. There, make it a little prettier on your workspace.
Just cover up the place where you put the screws in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm done at this end, this is the easy part. Denise says, didn't you say it could engrave on a tumbler? It doesn't look like there's a lot of clearance. There is a separate unit, I forget what it's called already. Sorry. Here, I'll bring up the little graphic. It's called a rotary attachment, and that's what's for the tumbler. So it's different.
Not exact. So all right. So the thing you have to. Oh, this is the tight fit here. The thing you have to remember is that the unit actually has risers, so it can actually be made taller. You can see one of the legs there. So it actually you raise the entire unit up higher.
It can be higher up there.
If you want, like, you needed it higher, you put on a couple riser legs, and it's now taller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's different than other things. So it has more flexibility because it's also more DIY in that regard.
Like the
right?
Glowforge works in an enclosed volume, and this one does not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Look at it. It appears to be just some sort of air pump.
Yeah, there's like nothing in the manual about where to put that.
Yeah. I can guess at it. But,
you guess at it. We can just guess.
It's a separate unit.
Yeah, and it is optional, so they don't all have it. So, and I think you added it on when you bought it, right?
Yeah, I don't remember if that was another perk to kickstarting
the Kickstarter, yeah.
But there's some other pieces. Maybe they'll be in here. Or maybe it's in the back of this manual.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look. All right. So what comes after what we just done is the operation screen introduction.
So in theory, this is all you needed to apply.
And then the next page says how to use the machine. So in theory, we're done.
Oh, see, look, I was wondering, I'm like, they didn't even tell you how to put a filter in there.
Oh,
that's
here it
because
is.
there's already one in there.
Yeah, so it's right here.
Yeah.
See that?
Which is nice and easy to change. So, like the fuzzy set. Yep.
Which side does it? It was just. It
like
had
this.
The fuzzier side at the top, right? Yeah.
That one, that's down.
Yeah, that's down.
You just drop it in, which I gotta say is super easy.
Right. Yep.
But
so
it was weird that they didn't tell you, because if there was no filter in there, you would start and then you'd be throwing smoke. So
yeah, totally. I'm looking ahead. It's just mostly talking about how to use it. There's a whole page on motherboard wiring. Alexa would think that was cool, but that's not really helpful to us right now. Maintenance tips. Talks about how the laser head needs to be cleaned regularly after long-term use, of course. And then, although, with the Glowforge Aura, you don't have to do any cleaning that I know of. And then how to
there's always some.
The Aura?
Lenses and stuff like that.
On the Pro and the Plus, yes, but I don't know if that's true on the Aura.
Well, anytime you're working, like making smoke or whatever, that it's going to get on your components. So
but they didn't tell us to. How about we say that?
All right,
They did
well,
not.
maybe
They did not give us the instructions to do any maintenance on it. As far as I don't remember it. Okay. Oh, okay. There is a page on the Air Assist installation. Okay. I found it.
I think we're getting close, so let's see what it says.
Okay. There's a parts list.
Okay.
The air pump, air nozzle,
this is the air pump.
Pneumatic fittings.
This actually looks like a Batman gadget of some sort.
It does. It's
like
matte black.
Yeah.
Air tube holder, the air tube, as I saw someone correctly in the comments. Determine cable ties. They gave us cable ties.
You need those, yeah.
Some M4 set screws, which pie in a little bag, and some PM3 screws. All right, so remove the 2 screws on the.
No, I don't see any screws here.
I think they were in little bags. Is there anything left in here? I don't think so. But I'll double check. Nope, this is. Oh no! Check. Look for the missing screws. That is like the worst. Is when the screws are missing. Yeah, this requires 6 screws. No, wait. 1 M4 screw, which is like this black one, and 2 PM3 screws. Were there any extra screws anywhere?
No, we went through all these screws. Maybe we will not be showing the expanded features.
Yes, maybe we won't show you the Air Assist. Maybe we'll just stick with... What does the Air Assist do? Do you know?
So, I mean, it's a pump, right?
Yeah, but what would the purpose of the Air Assist be?
So, we can hazard, I guess. Here.
Okay.
And that the actual... It's very awkward. So here, which is where the laser is, there's like a connection for that hose to hook into this. So you'd put that hose in there. So is it blowing air into the laser?
To cool it down so it can go faster?
So when the laser's cutting into the material, it's digging down into it. So having a jet of air that's excavating material.
Right. Could make a difference.
Yeah, so maybe it is.
Yeah. Maybe we just go with not installing it.
Well,
because
I don't want to put in
it's
generic
optional
stuff. I want to make sure that
we
have the right parts. So we'll contact them about that.
We'll contact them about missing it. And Marcia tells me the correct pronunciation is Elegoo. Elegoo. So it's Elegoo.
So
Elegoo.
We were pretty good.
Not Elego. Elegoo. There we go. So, all right. So we're not going to do the Air Assist. Fine. Let's put all of those items.
Right, so I'll take these.
So that means we are up to understanding how to use the machine, I think. So we have a machine that's assembled. Let's take a look at it on the overhead. And I'm going to zoom out all the way so we can see the whole thing. So this is what we've got. Let's push it forward so that we can see the screen. There we go. So... And it's not plugged in yet, but we'll have to do that. Now, I want to note that this is just like our. There's nothing underneath this, right? But we got one. The kit that we ordered. I'm gonna put has a honeycomb board.
There's
wait,
I don't know if this is a generic thing that comes with it. This is just a metal plate, so this might be a protective thing you put under.
Yeah.
But we did get the honeycomb.
Yes.
Plate.
Which you put underneath it, which I feel like you'd want to have. I don't know. It seems like it would be a good idea to have something like that.
It looks like maybe it's magnetic. No, maybe not magnetic.
Maybe not. Maybe just...
it might say in there. But yeah, it's just a kind of a honeycomb surface you can kind of see in there.
Yeah. The Glowforges all have like a honeycomb.
Yes, they have their crumb tray.
Crumb tray, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like that. They catch little bits and they elevate it and probably more air, whatever. I don't know. I can't imagine not having this. So that's weird. I'm looking to see if there's any mention of it in here at all. Nope. No mention of it in here.
Which is silly, but That's the other thing too, is like when you look at this, like I don't know how best to do this. But like you'd have to put the risers on that to get, because the laser would hit this tray, right?
Oh my gosh,
so
yes.
You'd have to lift it up.
So if we're going to, we have to put the risers on right now. Then.
If we're going to use a crumb tray.
So what would...
Otherwise, I believe...
Can we just use that metal?
You are just using that metal plate.
All right. Then we just use the metal plate.
Which seems crazy risky, but maybe it's okay. I mean, it doesn't take much to stop a
Well,
laser.
what if the laser, the laser hits the metal?
Well, that's the idea, and it's not going to go through. But we need to doubly make sure. So when we go into operations, we'll check. We need to read these. We need to read that.
Okay, I'm going to read this so everybody can see that. I'm going to zoom in so we can see that too. All right, so right here it says, do not leave equipment unattended while it's working. A fire can occur if the machine is set up incorrectly, left unattended for long periods, or if mechanical or electrical faults occur. This is true for all machines, but
no,
it's particularly
it can
important.
result in fire, even
if you're
correctly set
yes,
up, right?
yes.
Yeah, so
I've seen pictures.
Definitely keep an eye on your machine.
And then it says, please keep away any flammable or explosive items. Do not stack materials, especially organic materials such as paper, around the machine. They may cause flames to spread and increase the risk of material lighting. And then there is this safety instruction sheet. It's a little banged up, but this came with it too. That has a whole bunch of conventional security, laser safety, fire safety, electrical safety, and more. There's a whole bunch of stuff on here. So be sure, everybody, if you do anything with materials or tools like this, please read all of your safety information and please remember to put safety first. All right, I'm going to check and see if there's anything really important that we need to know. I'm going to read through it myself. I'm not going to read it all out loud. Don't engrave or cut materials containing PVC or vinyl. That's really important.
Which is another interesting thing, right? Because the Aura has vinyl. Doesn't it have vinyl?
Yes, you can cut vinyl on the Aura. They got special iron-on vinyl where they've changed the adhesive so it doesn't. Whatever, they have their own line of iron-on vinyl that you can cut on it. Yes. So, but it says no PVC or vinyl. Maybe their vinyl doesn't have PVCs in it.
Maybe.
Yeah, that could be. I don't remember right now. I feel like I knew, but now I don't know now. And it says do not engrave or cut any unknown materials. Yep.
Yep.
Rule. When the machine is running, the beam emitted by the laser heats up the surface of the material to a very high temperature. I'm just going to see your faces, right? Which can and will release fumes / gas and can cause the material to burn. This can cause damage to both machine and surrounding area. Experience shows the flame is most likely to be produced when cutting using low-speed highlight power. All right, so, okay. And then there's some like troubleshooting on the back here. You want to look at it? See if there's anything I'm missing that's important. All right, so we need to figure out how to use the machine.
Okay, so what does the next step say?
The next step talks about the mission. It's like an introduction to the operation screens. So the things that show up.
Shall we plug it in?
Yeah, let's plug it in.
Because we're going to have to turn it on to see those.
Let's plug it in. Yep. I'm
gonna switch it over there, or is it in the back?
It's right here. No. Wait. Yes, it is. It's right here. All right. Let me see if everyone can see that. I don't know if you can or not. Nope, you can't see it, so I'm not going to worry about it. You can't see it there either. There's a power cord.
But yeah, you put in the power cord over here, and that's also where the power switch is.
Okay, so it's right in there right now. Okay. I actually feel kind of nervous about turning it on. It's okay. It's going to be fine.
I'm going to turn it on right now.
There's all these safety warnings all over it. I'm like, are we going to start a fire? The fire extinguisher is right down there.
It is possible.
We have a fire extinguisher. Hey, it'd be exciting.
I mean, if we don't start
on live video,
like, you can't use the laser. Like, we have to have started some degree of controlled fire.
That is true. That is true. All right. So, okay, how to use the machine. This machine is compatible with a variety of slicing software on the market, such as Laser GRBL, Lightburn, and Elegoo Laser app. I mentioned all of those things earlier. The operating instruction is based on the open source software Laser GRBL. Number 1, TF card engraving. So save the file to the TF card. Let's get that out. Because I think they're referring to... No, this is a...
No. Should be a card in that. That's an adapter.
Is there a tiny little card in here?
Yep.
Oh, there is. There's a tiny little card. And show them on the overhead. See that little card?
Oh, so this is a USB.
But there's a card in the end, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a tiny little card in there.
Doesn't want to seem to focus. I don't know.
Well, you just have to give it some time, and then it'll focus.
Focus on me.
I can increase their brightness a little bit too there.
Yeah. It's just
so that's the TF card. So you can save the file to the TF card by slicing through the Laser GRBL software and select the required file through the control screen here for engraving. Or USB connection engraving. Connect the computer and laser engraver through the USB data cable.
Which is awesome in blue, by the way.
That's an unusual.
Yeah, I love it.
It's kind of sparkly or something.
You know what this looks like? It looks like an old Nintendo
Does
cable. Yeah, they used to kind of have that fiber.
So you can use USB from your software to your Phecda, or you can do app engraving, and it's engraving. It doesn't say anything about that. I don't know. Maybe it's just cutting. I don't know. You install the Laser app, which I showed you earlier. On your mobile phone, connect your mobile phone to the Wi-Fi of the machine, enter the machine's IP in the app, and you can operate the machine after a successful connection. And there's some more details about what to do here. And then it says to place the engraving material, and then pull out the focal length positioning bar and tighten the screws on the side by the height where the protruding positioning bar contacts the engraving material. Does that make sense to you?
All right. Pull out the focal length. Okay. So first of all, we're probably going to have to pull this.
Okay. All right. Let me back it up so they can see more.
And the reason why is there's that bar.
Oh, right. The bar? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That little thing.
Yep. So there's a little bar under here that we just pulled out.
And tighten the screws on the side by the height where they're protruding.
So they want us to position it, I think is what. Yeah, I don't know. Is that trying to determine
So
this?
there's these screws here, which is what I think they're talking about.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody, you can't see it.
You adjust this and then...
They're underneath here.
Well, no, actually, that doesn't do it.
Yeah, I don't understand what the purpose of the focal length
positioning
bar.
The protruding positioning bar contact. So the material will go under here.
Okay.
And they gave us some. Looks like.
Yeah.
This little piece of wood.
Yeah. Get that little piece of wood.
It's like a little
piece of basswood or something.
Basswood or something like that.
Someone is telling us to tape it down. Do we need to tape it down? We don't normally have to tape things down when we...
Well, this one's a little warped. Just a touch down.
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
I don't know if we need to. We don't normally need to.
For a test, maybe it's fine.
Yeah. We'll just stop it if it fails.
I will say it's very unusual having your hands inside the working volume of the machine. On the Glowforge, you close that lid so that you're not interfering with, the little bits and bobs. I could actually see, the power strip could easily slip under here, or, Jennifer sneezes again, and then the instructions get pushed under that. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that, but.
Oh, I'm totally not a fan of that. I like enclosures, for sure.
Yeah. But we could try. If we had a little bit of Scotch tape, we could. Let's start with that.
Okay. that good? Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right. So it says to use the control panel up here to click to engrave. Select the engraving file. Select the plane mode. I'm just going to go through them. Select the positioning origin. Make a stroke. Confirm the stroke position. And then engrave. And then that's for using the card. So maybe we could put that little card in. Where'd it go? Do you have it? That little, yeah. Where does it go? It goes over here, I think.
Probably. Yeah, the controls that we need to use. But I'm not sure.
I think it goes right over here.
Really?
There.
Wow, that's kind of
wow. So yeah, it's
silly.
It's this little slot right here. It's tiny.
So this adapter is just so you can put it connected to your computer then.
Okay. You need to raise the head using the screws to adjust height with the flip down bar. Or with the flip bar down.
Flip bar all the way down. Is that what that means? Like it needs.
Okay, so now it says to, and I can work the controls if you'd like.
Sure.
It says to click to engrave. So, and I'll switch over and you can see what I'm doing. Aircraft, 10 watts. Aircraft, 20 watts. Spacecraft, 10 watts.
So these are.
Oh, these are probably files on the card. Yeah. Yes, there's probably files on the card.
So
of an aircraft and a spacecraft.
Yeah, exactly. So I think.
So we can just pick the 20 watt.
20 watt, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a touchscreen? Yes. Okay. Obviously, it's a touchscreen. Okay. I selected an engraving file. Next, select the plane mode. Plane mode. Do I select the positioning origin, make a stroke, confirm the stroke's position, and then engrave? This is like so much more complicated than the Aura. Like, how would we know what the plane mode is supposed to be? It doesn't actually say which one to select.
It says plane mode.
Yes. Do they mean just select plane mode? Because it's so it was already selected. Or are there different plane modes to select?
Let's see.
You take a look.
So it looks like we've selected it. We pressed plane mode there.
Okay.
And then or whatever, and it said that it was a success.
Okay, good.
Confirm stroke position. It's highlighting in the instructions, mark the perimeter, which I feel like we would want to do.
And how would we do that?
I'm just going to press it and see what happens.
That's not what it's supposed to be. And we're also looking at it without our glasses on. It's doing a thing. It's just it's just testing it to see where it is.
Yeah, it's a light.
Okay, fine.
So you can't see it here, but
okay, it was successful. However, so it found the edges of your material. Is that what you think it did?
So we need.
Major Tommy says, with the focus distance arm down, tighten the screws, and then I believe that you lift the arm back up into the parked position. I don't think you want it touching the wood while the lens moves.
We can do that. All right, so it's back into the correct position.
Yeah, so this is what it looks like. We moved the arm up.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
Select the line, select the positioning origin. So what happens when we? So these are actually moving.
Sorry, just trying to get it. We can see the whole thing. There we go.
So I'm actually like. So right now that laser's directly overhead.
Yes.
So we chose the file. So maybe what's happening now is when we go mark the perimeter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, see, it's showing us where it's going to go, I guess.
So and
that's what we're saying.
So can we just move the metal plate with the thing taped on it so it's in the right spot?
Yeah,
let's just do that.
Absolutely.
Maybe wait until it's done. Yes, tell us what it's going to do. So let's move it. Now let's do it again.
All right. So I'm going to say mark the perimeter.
Okay.
Let's just make sure it stays on the wood.
Okay,
It
it
looks
does.
like it is.
Looks like we can move it over a little bit, though.
Well,
It's not bad,
all on the
though.
wood.
It looks like it's all on the wood, right?
It does. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, this says confirm the stroke position and then engrave.
And then that's for USB engraving, and that's for using the app.
It's interesting they don't really talk about the plate. They definitely need to improve their stuff. But I mean, this was the Kickstarter one, so maybe the manual is a lot better now.
Yeah, maybe it is.
So we would want that plate back in the position here.
Yep.
Because to keep that smoke contained, it's going to have to stay inside that shroud.
Right.
So.
Who's wearing the glasses?
Whoever's looking directly at the laser.
So if you stay over there,
you
I'm more likely to. So don't look at the laser.
I won't.
Okay.
Look at the laser.
Everything is green now. All right. I'm going to put it on this one so that they can see.
So we need to make sure we're on the right. We need to press like a button there. Can you see it? Is there something that says engrave or start? Or...
Let's see here.
Carving.
Position. Couldn't maybe carving means start engraving? I don't know.
Model. Okay. Oh.
So look at it.
Are you telling them not to look at it?
No, I'm telling you not to look at it because you don't have any glasses on.
What's really interesting, it's so blue.
Don't look at it.
It's so
don't
blue.
look at it.
I'm just looking. I'm looking at the screen there.
Oh.
I'm looking at your monitor. See?
Oh, you're right. I'm looking away from it.
Yeah.
Here, I feel like I should just. You should wear the glasses and I won't look at all. Here, put the glasses on. I don't feel comfortable with you being that close. Put the glasses on.
I can't see it.
It's fine. And I've turned away from it, so I can't see it at all.
The blue light's actually really, but you also have the microphone.
I know. I'm going to. Hey, would our Glowforge glasses work? Probably not, huh? Because that's not a diode laser. Right. All right, I've covered up my face.
I will say it is working.
Okay.
I don't think you need to panic. Here, wear them. It's okay. I know not to. I have many hours on the Glowforge, and I can see it on the screen over there.
Yeah, I can't look at the screen without seeing the.
Oh, yeah.
I can't because of my position at the table.
That's why you're wearing your glasses.
See? Like if I look in this direction, I can't even. The screen is right in front of us, so I can't see it.
It seems to be capturing the majority of the smoke.
I'll go back over.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just...
But I do smell it, for sure, and I see little wisps of smoke, but I'm not seeing...
I see the smoke inside. Everyone can see that too. And, but I can smell it now. I smell the smell of an engraved wood.
I occasionally see wisps, but I'm not seeing like a chimney of the column of smoke rising out of here.
Well, okay. Can I just say, look at what we did, Greg. You did it. We got this assembled, and it's actually engraving something. I'm super impressed right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna see. Like, the Glowforge is a really high bar to hit.
Yeah.
But I would be curious to see how like this compares against the Aura and the X Tools abilities.
Mm-hmm. All right, it looks like it's getting close to being done. Nice, simple project, by the way.
I gotta say, I think it's funny that they have a file already in there, which was the plane, or the aircraft,
right?
And then they have you select the plane, like in reference to like
it's super confusing,
the working
right?
position.
Yeah,
that's not
like
a
what?
good idea,
right?
So.
Yeah, yeah. There was a spacecraft. We could have picked that.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So
it's moving pretty quick.
It is.
As far as an engraver goes.
Well, it's also a pretty simple design. I mean, it's not anything crazy. I can definitely smell it now. With the Glowforge, there's a lid, and you don't really smell it until you open the lid. So And yeah, in my experience, that's what happens. All right.
I think it's done. How long was that?
I don't know, a couple of minutes.
3-4 minutes?
Yeah, it didn't take very long to do that.
So is there anything on the display here?
Let's see.
Or does it just say finished?
It says, oh, I can switch to the other view. The model has been carved.
Okay. All right. So there's some options again there.
So is it safe to?
I mean, I could probably pull it out. So it's going to be funny if there's a plane shaped engraving on our expensive work table here.
Is there?
No.
Okay, good.
No, okay.
We'd be covering that up.
So we have something here.
We have something. Let's show everybody what it looks like. All right, so we have to fix our overhead because it is currently flipped. It's rotated. So I'm gonna, well, I guess I could just show it to you like this. This is fine. Look at that.
It's really lightly engraved on the surface. There's probably settings for that. Yeah, it's I mean, you can certainly see what it is. It went quick, engraved lightly.
Yep. So yeah. Do we mess up our desk? Doesn't look like
just
it's
the smudges from where
there's from the metal. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Wow. Hey, we built a thing.
We did. We built a thing. Ooh, that's my phone. Sorry.
It's the fire department actually calling.
It's not the fire department. We did it. That wasn't easy though, at all. That wasn't easy. And that took us, how long would you say that took us?
Well, we've been at it for a while.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean,
we started at noon, but we don't think we started doing it until like maybe 12:30. So we've been sitting here almost 3 hours working at this. Now, we had that mistake. We had to fix it, but you did a pretty good job at fixing it.
Fix it, yeah. I will say, like, this is the first one of these.
Yeah, we never used
this. Laser cutter I've ever assembled. I can assemble a 3D printer, but this is kind of new territory. And it wasn't awful. I feel like if I needed to assemble, like if I was in a race, I could probably do this in 20 minutes now.
Without all the talking and having to show you, it is that part always takes longer. So always keep that in mind whenever you see us demonstrating something. That will take longer. But we wanted you to see how this works. So yeah, now that we know, that's pretty cool. Oh, look, you can see it's already got stuff in it.
Just a little bit of smoke there.
Yep.
So our room didn't get smoky. None of our smoke alarms went off.
No, and we're in a business park, so there's like literally a sprinkler up right up there. So that would have
this video would have got it exciting in a hurry had something gone really wrong.
All right, so that is the Elegoo Phecda, and I think the assembly on it was a little bit crazy. I'm not a fan of. I don't think it's super user-friendly. And we haven't even gotten into how you would use the software or the app. So, I mean...
It's hard to say what its capabilities will be. It's strange. Like their instructions aren't clear on something that is so dangerous.
I know, right?
Because I could see...
Yeah.
Unless we're missing something, which is possible because we're on a live video. If you just put this thing on your table and engraved it and you don't know what's going on...
You could end up engraving something or putting your laser into something that you're not supposed to. Like it could be dangerous, right?
Like carve into your work table or something.
Or carve into a surface that has vinyl, PVCs in it.
Right? I prefer a contained volume to this open one because I could see a cat. I could see a kid stepping into this, nothing, reaching in.
Like totally, I can see Butterscotch being like, ooh, what's that? Like you wouldn't want to keep all pets and children far away from this.
Yeah, that blue light is like
it's really bright.
It's shockingly blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep this here. We'll put it back in our workshop. We'll put it we have a Glowforge Pro and a Glowforge Aura here. We'll put it over there, and we'll probably
we might run them up against each other, a few different laser cutters to see how they actually compare.
Yeah, but I have to say, like, I'm not a fan of the assembly, and I'm not a fan of the instructions, and it doesn't seem very user friendly. However, it's possible that once you got it up and going, that it's awesome, right? So I think it's going to depend on who you are and what you're comfortable with.
I mean, like I have had a Glowforge that arrived new and didn't work, and
Yeah,
I had
I
to
remember.
ship all that stuff back to them, and that was a huge pain. I've had to replace components, so it's not like we're saying that like, oh, Glowforge is better. It's more expensive, and you know
It's more user friendly.
It's more of a user friendly machine.
Yeah.
So I for one am interested in finding some less expensive alternatives. So I was excited to see this.
Awesome. All right. Well then, I think that we did it. Good job.
We did it.
This was a challenge, and we did it. I am really proud of us for doing this. This is really cool.